They're mining for talent, bringing these kids to training centers across India, giving them scholarships to be in school while they're learning basketball, and then trying to mine that talent to create a kind of basketball culture in India.
When I was taking a look at NBA.com/India, I really got a characteristic look at how NBA is marketing themselves in India. Okay, so they had a video montage of Amari Stoudemire just playing hoops.
Shooting hoops.
Talking about basketball with Hindi subtitles on the bottom.
Interesting.
There's also a photo gallery of Pau Gasol putting on basketball clinics in Delhi and Bombay and posing in front of the Taj Mahal.
Wow.
And there's also a special on Satnam Singh, the 7-foot-tall, 14-year-old basketball player
goon.
who's straight out of the village of Punjab.
Huge.
Was outgrowing his shoes, outgrowing all of his clothes, and his father sent him to the city to be discovered, to play ball, to do what he hadn't done. He has a really sensational story. He's now in IMG Academy in Florida, making his father, making his village, making everyone in all of India proud, and he's just shooting hoops.
Yao Ming to China, Satnam Singh to India.
Oh, I'd love to see that happen.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's definitely a correlation, and I think the Indian market is there.
Yeah.
They just really have to push the fact that it's not an American sport. It's a worldwide sport. I think if they push that aspect of it and the fact that there's 90 pretty prominent international players in the NBA, they have a chance in India.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why basketball can't become the second most popular sport in India, and I think this is going to be really exciting to watch.
Definitely. Let's move on to our last topic of the day, haldi.
Haldi, which is turmeric in English, has a lot of health benefits, as all of us Indians know. But what exactly it does and how it helps promote preventative medicine is what we want to investigate today. We're going to give you a quick rundown of haldi's health benefits. Want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. Haldi has many benefits that include mainly stemming from curcumin. Curcumin is an active ingredient which wards off skin cancer, it slows the growth of breast cancer, it makes the body more vulnerable to chemotherapy, and it wards off melanoma.
It also benefits liver cells, helps fight off cirrhosis, and it's a huge boost in fighting off Alzheimer's disease. There's a really low rate of Alzheimer's disease in India versus America.
Now we know why all those old Indian aunties and uncles don't forget anything that we ever do. They're eating all that turmeric.
So keep adding haldi to your subgis, keep adding it to your milk, and if you don't like the flavor, you can even take curcumin as a supplement.
Last thing we wanted to bring up the show, Outsourced. It's a comedy on NBC. It's been airing for about 10 or 11 episodes now, and I think we have mixed feelings about it.
Rohan, I can't even believe we're talking about this show. The show is poorly acted, poorly written, has a bunch of cheap jokes. I just can't even stand it. Can we agree that it's not on par with the other shows that are in NBC Thursday night?
I totally agree with you. There are shows that are much better caliber.
All right.
It's definitely poor. But let's discuss the Indian aspect of it.
Okay.
Do they portray the Indian culture? How? What are your opinions on that?
I'm just not okay with how they portray it. It's just a bunch of repetitive spicy Indian curry, Indians worship monkey god jokes. I'm just not satisfied with the types of jokes they're making and how they're making it at our expense.
I think that any show, for it to be successful, if they're taking one race or culture, they have to play up the stereotypes to a certain degree. Because that's how they're going to get laughs out of the people. I know the Indians who watch this show, a lot of them think it's funny and a lot of them think it's distasteful. So there are both sides of the spectrum.
That's true. I really had high expectations for it, hearing that it came from the creators of The Office. I think there's a great Office episode where Kelly Kapoor takes her office to her Diwali party, and it's just really tastefully done how they point out the funny things, like how you have to take off your shoes before you go into the puja, and how the party was in a local public school, which we've all been to our fair share of those.
I agree.
It's the small things that make it funny for me, and it's just too overt and too over the top and outsourced.
Right. Outsourced does do a good job of the main character who's a white man in a call center, running a call center in India. Whenever he makes sort of cultural digressions or doesn't understand something,
that's true. He does set the
they
record
get corrected.
straight.
Either he corrects himself or they correct him on the show, and they explain the cultures, norms, and traditions. So I'm glad they do that.
Yeah, but I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
I'd be really surprised to see if this show went into a second season. Let's move on to our shout-outs.
Definitely.
Our first one goes on to Kelly Kapoor, who's played by Mindy Kaling on The Office. She actually writes the show as well, and she's been really successful in theatrical writing too. In 2003, she wrote the play Matt and Ben, satirizing Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, and she won a lot of recognition for her awesome work with that play.
Another shout-out goes to Akash Krishnan, 16, from Portland, Oregon. He and his partner won the $100,000 Siemens Math and Science competition. They created an algorithm that can detect emotional patterns in speech. So it's 60% accurate versus the current software, which is 40% accurate. It can help in voice orders, cell phones, call centers, has all kinds of applications. Thanks a lot for watching Morning Blend with us today. We greatly enjoyed your company.
Rohan, it's been a blast blending with you.
As always.